Welcome to today's video technical update presented by CMS Forex. It is Friday, January 15th, 2010. I'm Fan Yang, your technical analyst, and I'll go over some developments in the Forex market. This week, the greenback remains in consolidation. Risk appetite ended flat, although there was some improvement to start the week. Let's take a look at the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Japanese yen, euro pound, and the pound yen pairs. This video is being produced at about 5:15 p.m. Eastern Time after the close of this week's trading. Starting with the euro-dollar pair, we see today's price action showing signs of reversal as well as the stochastic rating in this daily time frame. If the market is ready to reverse here, swing projection brings it down to below the 61.8% retracement, so somewhere about 1.37 here. If it comes further, if we have a rebound here further, we'll be up here, 1.3775. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, it looks like we may be due for a minor correction, and this is a throwback scenario if the market tests the 1.4450 area and establishes that as resistance. Then we also see with this swing projection, we're going to test the 1.42 area, which is the bottom of our consolidation, which is here. So it may break this upsloping trend line, which is very shallow in a very shallow degree, but it may still, the complete consolidation pattern may still not be broken until the break of 1.42. So that's a significant bearish signal next week. If the market can break below 1.42, that spells further weakness towards 1.3738. The pound dollar pair finally paused, and here today's price action showed an engulfing pattern at the 1.6350 area. So it hit resistance at 1.63, went above it slightly, and now is having showing a reversal pattern. So stochastic is also showing a pause of this bullish momentum and possibly a crossover to start next week. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, we see that the market is right now testing this short-term power zone. So when that breaks, or if that breaks, then we have likelihood that we are starting this swing towards 1.57, 1.58 area. Okay, so next week, starting next week, we'll see if price action is bearish enough to start the swing. All right. The dollar-yen pair continues to be in a correction mode. This week, it actually expanded our consolidation range, and so looking at the 4-hour time frame, you see that came down in this channel, but relative to last week's action, there has been a expanding channel like that, or well, actually, yeah. Okay, so the key here next week is to look for when the market starts to consolidate, to start to congest, and then if there's a breakout of that congestion pattern, which right now, let me just project something like that. It would be what would be known as a diamond pattern. So a break from that will, give us a clue on where the market will head out to. For now, in the short term, it's projected to come down to the 90.40 area, although the market seems to have stopped here at the 90.80 support. So 4-hour time frame, this is the swing projection. On the daily, if the market breaks below and continues to decline further, which the stochastic is suggesting against, so if we do have this swing projection, it comes down to a retracement zone, and the market should see some support there. That is, if the market continues and breaks this 200 moving average in the 4-hour time frame next week. So this is an important area right now to watch for, to see if we next week, to see if we have bottoming action in a rally here. All right, you see the stochastic in the 4-hour is also in a bullish divergence. So there's some signs of reversal readiness here. Last week and throughout the early part of this week, the euro-pound pair looked like there was some bullish actions and some bullish outlook. However, midweek we had this break, and then today we had another break. So we had this short-term support and now intermediate-term support break. So we have to adjust that bullish outlook. In fact, the market today had a near-term test of this and established it as resistance. So to start next week, we'll see if the stochastic is indeed able to return to bullish momentum, or if it will cross back over for a continuation decline. Now a decline, looking back at the daily, you see this was our original wave count. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 should be above the end of 1 here. So at the moment we had thought that 4 could have been here, and at the moment the market seems to be it could be breaking this intermediate support. It shows it in the 4-hour time frame, but hasn't sustained it in the daily time frame. But if it does break, the wave 4 cannot go below 0.87, or it would invalidate the wave count. Okay, and the wave count is that this is wave 4, and wave 5 should start from this basing action here. But still, we might still have this support acting as support next week to start, so pay attention to the 4-hour time frame to establish whether this is just a clear out pattern or whether this is a continuation. Okay. Finally, let's take a look at the pound-yen pair. This week, the price action reflected sort of a flat risk appetite to end the week, although there was some push here in the early part of the week. So looking at, basically we are in a rally here. It hasn't been violated, and possibly this rally would result in a test of the 153 resistance area. You see this rising support so far has been holding, but this week's price action has been very weak. Looking at the 4-hour time frame here, we see this very choppy type of rally. It's in a uptrending, upsloping trend line, but each time it makes like a 350 pip move, it has retraced about 76%. Here you could see the same thing. Right now it's coming down and testing the 78.6% retracement, coincident with the upsloping trend line here in the short term. So if there is basing action and we do see a stochastic crossing, then our bullish outlook is still valid, and there would be a continuation likely next week to test 157. But if it breaks, that's a major signal that we may have to adjust the outlook for a possible attempt to test the support here at 140. Okay, so that's the two possible outlook, and all depends on whether this support holds or not. And if it holds and next week the market comes to 153, then look for topping action and a congestion pattern here. A break above that would be a very bullish signal, but you may want to have a test of this power line as support before you validate that bullish signal. But if that resistance holds and we have a break of this support, then we are likely staying in this consolidation, which means we may come back down to retest our support zone in a couple of weeks. Okay, so that's the pound yen short and intermediate term outlook. That wraps it up for today. Visit fxtimes.com for more fundamental and technical updates as well as educational live events. Once again, I'm Fan Yang, your technical analyst here at CMS Forex, wishing you a great weekend.